Alright, it's 8 p.m. One more video, then I'm done. Gotta be up early for the gym tomorrow. Yeah, bro, big day tomorrow. Wrap it up. Or we dive into top 10 features in GTA 6. You know you want to. Okay, but just one more video and I'm done. Okay, not bad. Still got a few videos left in me. I can work with 5 hours of sleep. What time is it? What the actual f***? You dumb f***. You had one job. Alright, never again. Tomorrow we're locking this phone up. Weak ass discipline.
Tomorrow for sure.
Alright, different story tonight. Grown man decisions. But what if we binge watch the Diddy case though? Oh f***. Here we go again. So I'm pretty sure we've all lived through a similar experience. Maybe for you it's YouTube, or maybe it's TikTok, or maybe it's Instagram, or maybe it's a combination of all the social media platforms. Whatever is your case, I'm here to tell you that it's time to let go of your social media addiction.
I would like you to pull out your phone and check your screen time. How's that looking? I kid you not, I have seen a screen time of 10 hours before. And the majority of the time was spent on social media apps, including YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And that is not a good place to be.
Because if you have that much time on your hands, you're essentially wasting your life.
It's insane to think that 10 hours of your day could be spent on a phone mindlessly scrolling through social media, video after video, without being conscious of the time passing. Time is finite, so why are we wasting it? Especially now with the algorithms favoring many things that have zero value or relevance in your life. Like, is that video of that chick shaking her ass really teaching you anything in life other than how to shake your ass? I mean, unless you really want to learn how to shake your ass, then I guess go for it if that's your thing. But just think about all the time that could be spent on productive activities. Just imagine if you had 10 extra hours a day to accomplish your goals. Doesn't that sound great? Well, if you cut out social media, you could have that time. And I don't mean cut it out completely, because that's almost impossible to do nowadays. But what I am saying is check yourself and see how much time you are spending on social media. I'm using 10 hours as an example, and I know it's a bit exaggerative. I don't think that it would be common to have a 10-hour screen time. At least I hope. I actually looked it up, and to my surprise, the average screen time here in the US is at 7 hours and 3 minutes a day. So I guess 10 hours really isn't as exaggerative as I thought. Makes you wonder, how do you even manage to squeeze 7 hours of screen time into your already jam-packed day? I guess it's safe to assume that you must be doing a whole lot of nothing to have that much spare time. Let's put it into a different perspective. Let's say you sleep 8 hours a day, most likely less because the average person does not prioritize their sleep. On top of this, the average person works about 8 hours a day and sometimes even more. That's already 16 hours of your 24-hour day. Stick in 7 hours of screen time, whether that be from YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, even Netflix or something, binge watching a show. That's all counts as screen time. That would mean that you only have 1 hour to do as you please, to accomplish your goals, to do whatever the hell you're setting out to do, if you even have a mission. And this is just a quick cut example, but I'm pretty sure it's not too far off from how the average person might be living their life. So now that we have a concept to wrap our mind around, here is how I would personally go about eliminating my social media addiction. And I'll give you examples of the way that I actually went about doing this myself. As I mentioned in a video before, I used to have a similar lifestyle to this. My screen time was through the roof. I would start in the morning before even brushing my teeth on my phone watching YouTube and just binging for a couple hours before I actually started my day. So if that's not If that's not the perfect example of a screen sucker, then I don't know what is. So, where it started was actually listening to a podcast, a random video that just popped up on my screen one day. I stumbled on it by mistake. So, if it wasn't for that, I think I wouldn't be here where I am today. And the name of the podcast is actually The Bedros Keuilian Show. If you want to take a look at it, it's a badass podcast. So what you want to do is start filtering what you are watching and listening to, because that has an important role in your life. Subconsciously, the information that you feed your brain over and over, it has an important underlying influence in the way you act and feel. I would just recommend you try this. Try listening to a podcast or something of value to your life, something that's going to make you think and inspire you to be a better person, to think greater, not just focusing on the brain rot content, because there's so much out there. There's tons of it, especially nowadays. Like I said, the algorithm favors that because that's what's popular. That's what's going to get the most views. And that's what you want to avoid. The next thing I did, and what I would suggest, is you start reading, picking up a good book and studying it for quite a while. You know, there's tons of good books out there. There's, as I mentioned one before, Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil. There is Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. There is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. These are just to name a few books. These are all great books, and I would suggest reading them. Reading will take you away from the screens and the less important things and feed your mind valuable content. I made a video on this before, but I would say it again. The next thing you would do is set goals. Set goals for yourself. So set short-term and long-term goals. You need a mission. You need something to work for, because if you don't have anything, you enter a state of monotony. You enter a state of repetition of the same old. Monotony is a slow killer. Let's just leave it at that. And last but not least, and maybe the most important, is to exercise. I believe that every individual should exercise at least 3 times per week. And this doesn't mean go run a freaking marathon or anything. A simple exercise could be like walking around your block for, 30 minutes, or going to the gym for an hour. Something simple. And I'll probably make a video on exercise and its importance in your life, because I know for a fact that's one of the main factors that changed me as an individual. So these 4 things would help improve your life dramatically. I didn't put them in order. It's just what I would start with. Pick one and go from there. Once you're comfortable, move on to the next until you can incorporate hopefully all 4 into your lives. And this video wasn't to shit on social media, because I know the importance of social media. This is how I'm able to spread my message, how many other individuals are able to spread a message to help one another and to grow, because that's ultimately the goal. We all want to grow. We all want to be at a better place than we were before. So that about wraps up my video. I really hope that you were able to watch through the entire thing and take a couple things from the video to incorporate in your life, and maybe even open up your eyes to the harsh reality. I know social media is a fantastic tool, but I also know that it's a weapon of mass destruction. So please, take care of yourself. Love ya. And until next time.